So I'm a dum-dum and forgot water, which is pretty critical when it's so hot outside, but there's a really cold water fountain at the beginning of this bridge, and I guess I'll just have to make a mission out of this. We'll go all the way to the end of the bridge, and I'm going to give you some pointers on frontside 360s, and then I want to try to get all the way back to refuel on water before I die of heat exhaustion.
You care for me when no one else is there for me. You provide air for me to breathe. I'll watch you restless in my I wanna get it right. I'm going up, down, backwards. I got forward, but now take it easy, take it.
So frontside 360s are hard to learn, period. It takes a lot of messing around with them and trying them in lots of different ways in order to really figure out how you can get it all the way around without reverting and to get a really solid pop on it. And I'm no expert at them by any means, but I do think that I've toyed with it enough to give anyone who is struggling with this trick 3 tips. So what I'll say to anyone learning this trick, you should have a really solid frontside 180. You should practice them fakie as much as you can, but understand that it's a lot easier to get the full rotation fakie, and practice them stationary. And I'll go into each of these tips in a little bit more detail. So with the frontside 180, I think that the key to 360s is being able to keep your feet on the grip tape at all times, being able to lock onto the board during the whole spin in order to get the full rotation down. This is going to be key if you want to do it down anything or to be doing it really fast or something. If your feet are sliding off the board at all, it's really going to throw off your spin and make it difficult to land it whenever you're picking up speed. And so the frontside 180, if you can have a really solid frontside 180 with your feet locked to the board through the whole rotation, that's really going to benefit when you're trying 360s. And I'm sure a lot of people who are stepping up to learn 360s already have a pretty good frontside 180, but it's also a trick that gets passed up a lot, and I have known a lot of people, including myself, that just kind of looked over frontside 180s. I just kind of went to more advanced tricks and never really got solid 180s down. And tip number 2 is to practice some fakie. You do need to realize that spinning from fakie is a lot easier to get the full rotation than from regular, but it is going to help you get your body used to that rotating motion. And so kind of going along with this is tip number 3, and that's practicing it stationary. I remember the day that I learned how to spin 360s fully without pivoting on my back wheels was practicing them stationary. And I was actually on kind of slippery ground, like a slippery parking lot with fresh pavement, which helped me sort of revert it all the way. But just doing that motion over and over again stationary really helped my muscle memory to just understand how to spin the 180 and then whip it around a full 360. And I do have a little bonus tip that really helped me get this trick a little bit better. Whenever I had learned them, I didn't really level them out that much. I would kind of like do a rocket front 360, if that makes any sense. And my friend pointed out to me one time, he said, why don't you try leveling it out? It looks kind of weird when you do it like that. I think he described it as not manly enough or something like that, because he wanted me to really pop it and dip it down. And so ever since he said that, it kind of made me self-conscious about how I do them, so I started trying to do a big front 180 and then dip my nose downward. I still can't do them that well, like some of the pros can, but it did really help me get a more solid one, and it helped improve my rotation, so now I don't revert them as much as I used to. And I will say, doing it stationary is much harder than doing it just regularly, because the momentum is such a key component of frontside 360s that you're pretty much not going to be able to do a frontside 360 stationary without reverting or pivoting of some kind, but that's okay. The whole point of doing it stationary is just to get your body used to rotating it as fast as you can. That way when you add the speed and momentum aspect, it should be a lot easier to get it all the way around. that's really all I have to say about Frontside 360s. Keep trying them, have fun with it. I am reaching my breaking point. I really need to get to that water, so I'm going to try to find that bridge gap and then race back across the bridge to get to that cold water fountain. I found it! Let's see if I can ollie it. I definitely clipped it, but I don't care. I need water. I made it. And this is where I call it a day. I hope you enjoyed watching the cruise through Lakes Park. I love Florida. And I hope that my Frontside 360 tips helped you in some way, even the littlest way. And thank you for watching. I'm having so much fun making videos, and I have more frequent skate edits and comics and stuff like that that I post on Instagram almost every day. And just check out Professor Shred on Instagram if you want to see any of that stuff. But until the next video, stay shredding everybody, and enjoy the ride.
Looks like I'll be worrying for a little week. I hope I'm still allowed to show, 'cause in my team.